Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. Welcome to our in-depth review for Cocaine Bear. If you haven't checked out our non-spoiler review already, check it out. And check out other playlists as well. But yeah, so we are talking more a bit about the film. Obviously, if you haven't watched our film, we have some thoughts on it. But Akram, I want to get your nitty-gritty thoughts on Cocaine Bear. What did you think?
Yeah, that shit was really ass. I'm not gonna lie. I am not the type of person to enjoy bad movies. A lot of people do. That's just a thing. I think this is the type of movie that you can watch with your friends for shits and giggles. But the jokes for me really didn't land as much. You know, it's not good for that, and it's not good for just watching a movie outright. So I don't know what really audience will this movie cater for. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it starts off like it's gonna be like a documentary kind of, or like a historical like reimagination or something.
Yeah.
Obviously it's over exaggerated and the comedy is like over the top, and like I said in the other review, I think like even though it's like both a comedy and kind of a horror, I really didn't laugh, or I wasn't scared either. So it's like I don't know how to feel, honestly. And then some people in my theater were laughing at the jokes, and that's fine. It caters to different people. But for the most part, I felt pretty mindless watching it, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what's funny? In my theater, there was a lot of older people. There's a lot of older people, but they were laughing a lot. So this movie, I think it's a niche audience. You know, when you go to Facebook and you see the comments and everyone's saying this is gonna be my favorite movie of the year and this and that, I think it's just for shits and giggles. I think a lot of people are trolling. Mm-hmm. I think this movie's trolling. And maybe it's kind of like Bird Box. Bird Box was apparently a social media marketing thing, and then there was plenty of memes and stuff. Maybe that they were trying to emulate the same thing. And again, Elizabeth Banks, she only directed a handful of movies. I think she directed Charlie's Angels and stuff. I could see her tone here, because she has a similar tone, like I said before in the other review, kind of like James Gunn. I just felt like she could have done a better job. I don't know. It just really felt more missed than hit. And everything was just spotty. But I felt like, I don't know what the budget was for this movie. It must have been a small budget, and probably all these people in the cast were just like acquaintances from Elizabeth Banks. So they're like, fuck yeah, I'll join you in this movie. I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't enjoy this movie that much. So yeah.
What did you think of the bear itself? I just kind of want to get your thoughts. Like, what did you think of the actual bear?
The bear is like an allegory for racism, and
now I know I heard it all.
And whatever. No, what if the bear was actually like a deep metaphor or something?
Right. There was like this deep, like philosophical debate or something.
I hope so, because I don't. Again, I usually don't watch these type of movies, so like I really hope there was something deeper underneath. Sure. I feel
like to like go into this movie. Like, you know how in the movie when it had that quote and it said like the source from Wikipedia, I feel like to go into Wikipedia,
exactly.
to find the meaning.
Exactly.
That's how bad it is.
That's the sad part, actually. I mean, the bear was, it's a typical monster. There were some cute moments, and then we get to see later on that the bear has cubs, and then the bear is female. I don't know if that was a ploy to get us to sympathize with the bear, and then the real villain was actually Dentwood, Ray Liotta's character. But I didn't feel it. I couldn't connect. And I hope not. I hope that wasn't a ploy, because if it was, that means they did a shitty job, and that makes it even worse. I hope it's like purposely shitty,
Right. Yeah. Do you think like these type of movies, like I don't know what their mindset is like when, like, do you think they actually like sit down and rewatch it and think like, oh, this is a good movie? Or do you think like, for the fuck of it, let's just like put it out there?
I really think, again, Elizabeth Banks, she's funny, from what I see and in social media. I really think this was just supposed to be a meme, but like in movie form. And I think back then it was harder to make these types of movies because you have to struggle so much with getting the right production and this and that. But as you could see from the producers, there's a lot of producers here. You got Elizabeth Banks, you got a great art director, cinematography, and it's Universal. I think you talk to the right people and he said, well, listen, the movie is not too good, but people are going to be talking about it, and that's how, it's such a bad movie that you have to see it, and
It's
again,
like a reversal.
it's I feel weird saying it is a bad movie because it feels like it's purposely bad. So then therefore I feel like I should say, well, it's sort of a good movie because it does its job correctly, right? And you could giggle here and there. It's just, if you have that taste for a goofy type of gory movie that's semi horror, semi comedy, then yeah, this is for you. Again, it's the right audience. I don't know. It feels like it's not supposed to be watched. Like it's supposed to be just memed on Twitter. Once you watch it, it's like it's the feeling. I don't know. It's just like weird. It's probably an experiment.
Probably. I feel like if you nitpick this movie, there are really good things in it. Like the cinematography, like the nature shots, I thought were great.
Yeah.
The bear itself, I thought was okay looking. I mean, I've seen worse looking like monsters in other movies too. It wasn't terrible to look at. I think it definitely felt comical at times, but then there's like I think like what I said in the other review, like I think the fact that they showed so much of it made me lose all sense of fear for it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like if you put it in your face too much, it becomes like a running joke. And maybe that was their intention. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be more funny than it is violent, and then maybe the gore kind of, I don't know, accentuates the humor, so it's like a extreme form of like slapstick or something. I don't know.
I kind of see it like the movie Piranha. I was drawing comparisons here and there. I was like, honestly, if I were to direct this, what I would have done was I would have not shown the bear as much. And then if you want to make this movie goofy because the characters are goofy, the part where the cop is on top of the gazebo and the bear comes out and the bear starts acting silly, that's your real first look at the bear. And it's like, oh shit, this bear is really silly. And then then I would have added more like fodder. And then the bear's like going on a way harder rampage or something, and it's like, oh shit, this goofy bear that I actually started to vibe with now is killing everybody even more. I don't know, something like that. I mean,
I'm thinking now, like, I think I actually would have laughed at the bear, like, took a shit in the woods.
Took a shit.
Something real.
Remember the girl said, "Don't take a shit" or whatever to the kid.
Because remember, it swallowed that whole bag of Coke.
Yeah.
So it was literally shitting bricks.
There you go. There you go.
That could have been a joke right there. See, I feel like sometimes we write jokes or narrative plots and people don't take us seriously.
No, I feel like the Joker sometimes. You're not listening.
Yeah.
I mean, in real life, again, this is loosely inspired by what happened. There was this guy in the beginning in the airplane, and yeah, he fell to his death. That's real. All the other characters are fictional. The bear itself died right away. 3 months later, the bear found cocaine, and the bear ingested it and died from multiple strokes, multiple this
I don't
and
know
that.
why that's funny to me.
You're trying to find humor somehow.
Why is the real life story more funny than the actual movie?
Oh gosh. I mean, and they also taxidermied the bear, so like, and it was a long history of like different owners from the taxidermy thing. So I guess that's why they kind of showed the bear off so much. It was like, well, we do have the actual bear in taxidermy form, so it's like, and that was pretty iconic. Yeah, I don't know. And then the characters were the guy from
They were one note.
Yeah, the guy from Game of Thrones was dry. The wife was a great introduction to what type of movie we're gonna see. Again, Kerry Russell is probably the best part. I mean, that's the character that you really have to like feel for because she has the kids there. But then again, it's like Ray Liotta. I felt bad because it was such a
That was the last movie.
Yeah, and typical type of villain too to play it like that. I did laugh a lot though at his death. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was like,
why did he throw the gun to the lady? That was so stupid.
That was stupid. Yeah, that because it wasn't to the lady. It was supposed to be for Howard, O'Shea Jackson's character, but she just ended up catching it. And then that cheesy, like the kids were like, "Oh yeah," and she was like, "Yeah,
get him, Lou."
Yeah, show your man. I mean, that whole thing. I don't know.
I felt like a weird I don't know. It was definitely like it had that contemporary vibe that we see in a lot of modern movies now. But
Yeah.
I feel like it was supposed to be kind of like an 80s slasher film. Kind of like if you ever see like the movie Cujo.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a parody of that. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I feel bad because I'm trying to justify this film so bad.
Yeah. You're like Hitler's lawyer from Hunters.
Shit, I feel like we're at Nelson and Murdoch right now,
Yeah.
trying to like defend this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
It's strange, dude.
it's strange. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, like I said, if this movie is your cup of tea, that's fine. It's just like one of those movies where like I would probably pass it on like Netflix or something. Like I probably could care less or not give 2 cents about it.
Yeah.
It's a popcorn flick, but I think those types of movies, like I always say, like we need like the bad with the good, right? Because those types of movies show us what good movies are, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's
true.
their intention. I don't know.
Maybe it's like an experimental thing. I mean, when they did Bird Box, that surprised me that it was actually supposed to be about memes and stuff. So yeah, I think you're on the money with that, or on the cocaine with that. Yeah. So did we rate it last review? I forgot. Yeah, we rated it last
like
review.
a 4 out of 10, or you gave it like a 3 out of 10 or something.
Yeah. So just in case you guys didn't watch that, he gave it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, and I gave it a 3 out of 10. But then again, maybe we're nitpicking too much. Again, it seems like intentional that's supposed to be like this. So, but you guys let us know.
Well, hey, think about it this way. If it managed to get on this podcast, it's worth something.
There you go. I don't know how much. Hopefully that doesn't say something about us. But
there's a silver lining somewhere.
Hopefully. But yeah, you guys let us know down below, what did you think of Cocaine Bear? Again, now playing in all theaters. But Dylan, as always, please take us away.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't watched our non-spoiler review, you could watch it as well and get some more of our thoughts. But yeah, we have plenty more content, plenty more movies from every corner of filmography. We're covering Hello Tomorrow, an Apple TV Plus series right now. We're covering also The Last of Us. We have a few more episodes left for that series. And of course, next week I think it's next 2 weeks, we'll be covering The Mandalorian for season 3. So I'm excited for that. Good television.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. If you haven't checked us out, please do subscribe to the channel. We're on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well. And of course, you can watch us on YouTube as well. So thanks again, guys. Until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.